One. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Inside Movies Galore. I'm your host, David Stregi, here in the room with me, I have director Joseph Kelly. Why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself and how you got involved in the independent film industry, as well as your acting abilities?
Yeah,
First of all, welcome.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me, David. Pleasure to be here. It all started. I didn't get into it till about middle school, so it's not like I got taught this or anything. My uncle is an actor, but I just never knew that till later.
Mm-hmm.
But going back into middle school, I had to do a Spanish project, and I wasn't good at Spanish. I thought I'd just do a presentation at home per se. So that's when I went to go buy my own camera, Sony. It was like one of those super high cameras, so one of the old-fashioned ones. And just picked it up from there. Did film studies classes in high school. Went to 2 years of college in Rochester at Monroe College for visual communications. And that's when I started my first feature community service. Branched off to Bloody Island, and then now Clown Motel in the franchise. Alongside doing working for other companies like MTV, VH1, Camera, Op, and all that, fun stuff.
Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go back a ways to 2010 here, and apparently you acted as a student in Survival of the Fittest. How was that project for you?
No, that's pretty good. Actually, the actor, Daniel Trend, he was one of my actors for my first feature film, Community Service, which we did in 2008. And then from that, he was producing this movie. It was a short film, Survival of the Fittest, and it was just going to Syracuse, filming that scene. It was kind of like one of those real live things, what happens if someone comes in with a gun and stuff. And so I ended up running down the hallway. And actually, me, I pretend, they pretend to shoot me, and I'm just like throwing myself in the lockers, falling down. So it was fun. Yeah. Did I lose you for a second?
Okay. And then after Survival of the Fittest, you were in a project called Travel Zero, a short film. Why don't you tell me a little bit about that project?
That was a pretty cool project. Same guy, Daniel Trend, brought me on. And it was actually the director, John Rome. John Rome actually did the sound for 28 days later or 28 weeks later. Don't quote me. It's on one of those. He was the composer for that. So I thought that was really cool just to work with him. And it was based on John Teeter. I don't know if you ever heard of him.
I think I've heard of him. I just haven't entirely gotten into his work yet. So.
Okay, yeah, it's supposed to be like a time traveler, 10, 15 years. So it's just pretty much a short, like 5 to 8 minute, I guess you want to say investor teaser trailer we put together over a few days to show people for the feature. Unfortunately, the feature never got picked up for the moment. So, but overall, we came out with a nice little short film, and it was fun.
Cool. Moving on, I guess you were in one episode of a TV series called Dorm Invasion.
Oh, no. They put that up there?
I guess so.
Yeah, okay. Off the record now, Dorm Invasion. That's not what you think. Yeah, it actually is. It was a porn. So it was my college years. I was in Miami. We didn't have like central casting like we do here in LA. And they're like, hey, you want to be an extra in porn? You don't have to do anything. So all I did was pretty much drink a solo cup, watch 3 girls make out. And during halfway through the production, I remember the director coming over to me. He's like, hey, do you want to get your thing sucked by the 3rd hottest porn star right now? And I'm just like, no thanks.
Going backwards a little bit, I guess you've been involved in wrestling in a certain way, I guess.
Yep, wrestling. I've done it 2 years wrestling training. I did a Pure 6 with, I don't know, are you big into wrestling at all?
I am, and I'm not. I did executively produce behind Wrestle Massacre of Brad Twiggs, so I
Oh,
guess you could say that I'm kind of into wrestling.
oh yeah. No, yeah. So I'm wrestling. Actually, just I started off just wrestling, loving it. Before I loved horror films, actually, and I got into always watching WWE and Raw. So pretty much right after college, I went to a training school in New York under Colin Delaney, who was in WWE for about 6 months a year. They called him the Crash Dummy because he was like a small guy. Then he had to go up against like the Big Show and the Great Khali.
Okay.
That's but yeah, from there went there. Then I went to Atlanta, Georgia for about a year under Curtis Hughes, who was old school WWF back in the '70s, I think, and he faced like the Undertaker and won his urn and all that. So I went to his school, and then from that I did produce Pro Wrestlers versus Zombies.
Okay.
That's yeah. So that was just small time producer on that, but that was with all Matt Hardy, the late Scotty Pippen, Piper, and just a great cast and crew, and I mean it was pretty much good.
Very cool. I mean, I know that film ended up being picked up by Troma eventually, so that's at least cool. So after you were part of all that, you went into your first directorial film called Community Service. Now, where did you entirely film that movie?
So Community Service was probably actually one of the first projects I filmed, but we didn't release it till 2012.
Mm-hmm.
So we filmed that 2007, 8. But I mean, it took us 2 years. It was just out of college, so we're doing it on the weekend for fun. I took my student loans, and we pretty much filmed all in upstate New York. Rochester, New York. I think we also went to, if anyone's familiar with New York, Naples and Dansville. Really cool, like country scenic areas. So,
okay. And who did you go and now? Did you hold auditions, or did you use friends and family for community service or whatnot?
No, this is good. Yeah, I don't even think about this until because it's been so long. It's like 10, 12 years. It's me. But we actually did do auditions, and it was we do our casting call where it's pretty much like, I think at the time we did a Craigslist post.
Okay.
And we just did mutual friends and some of the local filmmakers group. I think at the time it was called Rochester Movie Makers.
Okay.
And put a couple notices out. And we actually, my producer, Rob Wickman, was friends with one of the people who owned like one of those stores where you sell furniture and stuff. So we just held the auditions in there.
Okay. Not a problem. How many days did you shoot the film in?
So Community Service, so we shot it in 2 years. So I started 2008. It was the fall, and pretty much at that point I didn't know, I knew how to film a little bit like student films, college films, just for fun.
Mm-hmm.
But my thing was like more guerrilla style. Let's go. Then, I talked to some producers, and they're like, I think we should just wait, till the spring, weather's nicer, get a plan, get a schedule going. And it did help out. It did take us 2 years. Probably a total of about 16 shooting days.
Okay.
But yeah.
If you could take a specific shot from Community Service and tally it up as a favorite of yours, what would you say to the audience? Exactly what what you would take from it?
No, this is really true and messed up, and it's a cool story. So pretty much there's a scene where the serial killer runs out. He escapes a psychiatric center, and he's going for revenge for a childhood tormentor.
Okay.
But on the way, he reaches this house, so he has to like just find a random house and change and stuff. But there happens to be a mother and a daughter inside. So they find out he's in his underwear, like eating all this food in the fridge and stuff. He gets pickle juice in his eyes. He's screaming for real. And then then the mom sees it, hides the girl in the closet, and then she goes with a gun, and she doesn't know how to shoot a gun. So the killer gets her in the bathtub and starts slaughtering her, killing her.
Okay.
And then pretty much he leaves the house. You think the little girl's in the room, right? In the closet, all safe and stuff. He gets his clothes. He leaves. He walks down the stairs, and you just see the little girl hanging, like her feet just hanging. And what I thought was, and that's my real sister in real life and real mom. What he does, though, is the shoelace was untied, and he actually goes and ties the shoelace, even though she's already hung him. You know? So, yeah.
Okay. Moving on to a short film that you acted in called Mangle Me. Why don't you tell me a little bit about that project?
Mangle Me. So that one is with Rhonda Parker. She's a really good, one of the best female directors I know in upstate New York. And yeah, it was just for a short film. She runs a film festival too. And it was just, a 2-3 day shoot in her backyard. And pretty much it was like a Halloween party kind of. We didn't have too much Halloween costumes, so I just pretend I was like a plumber, my pants down or whatever, a plunge. And then pretty much just drinking beer, partying. And, of course, one by one, there's just, just the killer comes, the mangler, I guess you would say.
Okay.
Yeah, the rest is history.
After that project, you were part of a TV movie called 4 Stars. You were Staff Sergeant Baker. How was that for you?
That was pretty good. That was, man, so that was about a week's shoot. Mostly I just featured. I did have a line, but I don't think they ever released it. It was supposed to be a TV movie.
Okay.
But pretty much it was cool, the whole haircut experience. And just interacting with the main actors, and pretty much 75% of the film shoot, for myself at least, we're just in the monitors rooms, watching the actions from the screens and stuff, while the general comes by and has a fight right behind me with one of the lieutenants. Yeah, so that was fun though. That was one of the bigger productions. Well, probably like a $20 million, $30 million project.
Okay. Moving on after that, you were part of the TV series Pitch for about 7 episodes. How was that for you?
That's good. I was actually just talking with do you know Motor City Nightmares?
Okay.
Okay, so I was just talking to Tommy, just an interview before this, and this just came up too. I just totally blanked. Pitch,
the TV series.
Oh, Pitch. Okay, yeah. So Pitch, no, it was good. I was on, pretty much for 75% of the episodes, just as like a featured extra, one of the baseball people. I did have a big fight scene in the locker room, and that's pretty cool. And they paid me decent. And then when I did the fight scene, it was pretty much interaction where I think Zach Morris from Saved by the Bell.
Okay, yeah.
So he's one of the coaches, and he starts yelling at me, and he's like, "You guys just have to be good, be a team, and pull it together." Because this is like when we're starting to break, and I was yelling at some baseball player for sleeping with my wife and stuff, or it's how it goes. But then, so I'm on Fox, and then I see myself, and here's the fight scene and stuff, and then there's like me talking and stuff, and I'm like, wait a minute, they actually voiced over my voice so they wouldn't have to pay me the SAG rate, because then they'd have to do $1,000. So I was just like, But I did get a scene walking out in the shower of that too. So,
well, at least you can say that you were on it.
Yeah, I guess that's
But in any case, and then after that, you were in the TV series 24 Legacy for one episode, I guess.
Oh, that was a crazy episode, and I'm so bad with names. One of the lead actors actually died after, I think, the 7th or 8th episode, and they had to cancel it. But pretty much, so I'm coming on set, and it's like, probably age 25 to 35, a high-class party in this, like, $5 million mansion in, Beverly Hills. So we're all downstairs partying, having our drinks, not like partying, but, casual, classy and stuff. And then here comes this mob guy with, like, this monkey with a diaper. And they just a whole bunch of like coke on the table, and I'm like, what's going on? And then they pretty much start like pulling out guns and start shooting. And pretty much the bad guy runs, out the door, but then they wanted me to just follow him. So then the good guys couldn't shoot him because I was blocking his way. Otherwise, he would have shot me,
Yeah, definitely. So around this time is when you started to film for Clown Motel, your short film. which leads up to your more recent film that you're going around and campaigning for, correct?
Yeah, yes, correct, for the sequel to the feature. So we did the short feature, then the sequel.
Now, where exactly is the clown motel, the actual clown motel?
So it's like Tonopah, Nevada. It's
okay.
If I don't, are you familiar with that too much, or?
Yeah. In fact, I believe Ghost Adventures was hosted it. I actually love that episode.
Oh yeah, that's
going
cool.
to it.
Yeah. So
but how is directing as well as acting inside your films? How do you balance that?
Yeah. So Tonopah is a cool location. I want to get back to that in a sec. With acting and stuff. So the short film was, pretty good. I think we fundraised $15,000 to shoot it, and then we had to go back for a couple of days to reshoot some scenes. And that was a good 20 or 30 minutes short. It was 30 minutes originally, but we cut it down to 20 minutes for the festivals.
Okay.
Acting wise, it was good. It was one of my more stepped up roles. It wasn't too bad because we had a solid crew behind me. I had my solid AD, two ADs. And, a good 10, it was more like a family style shooting, so not too much pressure.
Okay.
So that's why in the first feature, I actually stepped back from acting. I just did a one-day cameo just to get this one going, just to put all my time and effort into it and to see how it goes. And, then with the sequel, I'll be doing a supporting role, which will be pretty decent and one of the biggest roles I had besides compatible. And I think it'll be really really good. And it's going to be, doing both though, acting and directing. It could get tricky. But if you have a couple good ADs behind you and you tell everyone, the day plan and what you expect and what to expect from them and stuff, it goes okay.
Okay. And you were saying about location and.
Tonopah. So yeah, between Las Vegas, a 4-hour ride going towards Reno. But what I like about it is the total population. I think they increased. It's 3,000 people now, but it used to be like 2,000.
Mm-hmm.
But if you go either way, like an hour and a half, there's no gas stations, nothing. So it's just like a small town, probably about 5 square miles, and nothing for a few hours. And that's why I love it also.
Now, who did you pool for your actors and actresses? Did you use any that you had used previously in community service at all?
Yeah, no, that's a good point. No, my producer came with me from community service, not actor-wise. My second feature, I think it might be on there, Bloody Island.
Okay.
So pretty much my second actor from that, he was also a pinhead in that. So I'm like, hey, he could be a pinhead in this, like a clown pinhead, like American Horror Stories. So I did pull him, and then I pulled a few local people I knew from Rochester that haven't worked with me, but I worked with at, film festivals and stuff.
Okay. So after Clown Motel, the short film, you just touched on Bloody Island a little bit. Why don't you tell the audience a little bit what Bloody Island is all about, and how did it differ from clown the clowning around that you've been doing with the Clown Motel?
Yeah. No, so yeah, I did that. I think Bloody Island I did. So I did the short Clown Motel. I did that after the Bloody Island.
Okay.
It wasn't a step back. So I'll get to Bloody Island right now. The second Bloody Island, that's the sequel to Community Service I talked about with this psychiatric killer coming back for revenge. And since it's a sequel, he didn't get his childhood tormentor. So now it's a whole new aspect. We're trying to open things up. And in the first movie, Community Service, we're just at, a pretty cool campground, beautiful scenery, woods and stuff. Your old slasher film. But this one, I wanted to up the game. So we actually went to, still stayed in upstate New York, but Syracuse. They have an amusement park called Sylvan Beach. It's a really old amusement park.
Okay.
And, it's been around since probably the 50s. And it was during Halloween season. But during the weekdays, no one was there, just the maintenance guy. So we made a deal with the owner where we could just shoot there for 3 to 4 days. And maintenance guy was there, and any ride we wanted operational, he'd say, okay. So there was one time where we're like, okay, let's take a break. So we get on the bumper cars, and it's like Casper's crew and stuff. It was good. But, pretty much just the follow-up, a serial killer Coming for Revenge, and this one has a little freak show also, circus, amusement park, as you could imagine.
Okay.
And a couple cops. Mindy Robinson was in this actually too. She did a cameo as my girlfriend in the first one. And then who else? And then if you know John Cena's brother, Steven Cena, who's a great theater actor and voice actor, he was in it too. So this was his first feature film. Yeah.
Very cool. At least for him. Now, how was community services and Bloody Island's reception when they went to the festivals?
Yeah, it's good. Community service, that was my first time doing festivals with anything. I didn't do any festivals with my short films because they were mostly in college. I just went straight to a feature. But the festivals was great. I know we played at Lakeshore in New Orleans, I believe. Buffalo Screams, that was a great festival. They changed it to a Buffalo Dreams Film Festival now, though.
Mm-hmm.
But, that was good. We took 2 cars up. I think I filled up, like we had 10 or 12 people from Rochester who just drove, the day and just chilled out there. And yeah, I think we won best cult horror film. I don't even know. We won some kind of award. Yeah.
Okay, very cool.
And then yeah, Bloody Island. We did a few film festivals, but I think my biggest one with Bloody Island was Fright Night. If you know, that one's in Kentucky.
Okay.
And that one was great. We won runner-up for Best Horror Comedy Feature Film. And there was one night, I don't know if you know, well, Casey Hendershot was there.
Okay.
And Halloween Michael Myers, he's one of the guests, so we hung out a little bit. That's where I met him. And then Tony Moran, who's in my movie now, I met him there. And my executive producer, Dave Bailey, that's where I met him. So that was a good festival. And I just remember one night we're going to this just little get-together and stuff. And for the festival, it's Kentucky. So he brings us actually like real moonshine. And, that stuff was good.
Definitely sounds cool. Now, ultimately, let's see, what scene would you take from Bloody Island as a director, as a favorite scene?
Yeah, that's a good one. I mean, I think I had a few in there just to minimize it quickly. A couple of my favorite shots was pretty much, I don't know if you know what a boomer is. It's like a ride that goes, you sit in it, it goes like around.
Okay.
And it goes about 50 to 100 feet in the air. And, you just sit in it like a little rocket kind of.
Mm-hmm.
So we attached like a dummy to it. And I was actually inside the thing, ducking, holding the dummy. And we went around. And I just let the dummy go in the middle of the air, and it just falls, which you could see in the trailer, too. So that was a really cool shot. And I know my producer, Rob, he was effing with me at the time because we're supposed to do that, shoot, and be over with. But he didn't tell the guy when to stop, so I was literally in that ride for like 5 minutes throwing up.
Now, you were behind the camera. Was there any moments during editing while you were doing that where you had troubles with or anything like that?
Yeah. So for that, I probably did about 60 to 70% of the camera work. I also had Sean Ubel in Syracuse. He helped me with the camera work some of the days. Because I was also acting as one of the clowns, Smiley, in the film. First time being a clown, you see where Clown Motel comes from now. Yeah, then editing-wise, I actually, for community service in Bloody Island, I did the whole first edit myself.
Okay.
I usually bring someone in after, and then, just to save and help us out, and then I usually just touch it up in final cost and stuff. But I know we had Corey Owens help us out. Editing wise afterwards, and he did video editing for Lost and The Pacific on HBO.
Okay,
so it's a good hand to have on board, and it went pretty smooth, I thought, overall. But with those two, we just had our basic video editing, basic color, composer, some minimal sound design. So now for the features, we step it all up and just add to it while we can.
Definitely. So after Bloody Island, you were in a couple of episodes of Training Day. How was that for you?
That was good. Training Day. Let me see. Uh, I was probably like, when I get cast, sometimes it's like one third of the parts are like military roles. So I like combine them sometimes. Um, that might have actually been Training Day. I'm not sure. That actually might have been the one with the monkey I was telling you about before.
Okay.
So yeah, but yeah, either one. I never had a bad experience. I know I was on SEAL a couple times. I don't think that's labeled because that was only a few days. But yeah, that was fun as well. You know, just one of the military guys drinking at the bar.
Okay. And apparently you were in A Star Is Born.
Yeah.
How'd that happen?
So that's crazy actually how it happened. So I got a call. This is nothing. They're just like, we got a union job for you. It's just basic. You want it? They didn't tell me what it was. I was like, okay. So then originally they didn't know, like I was supposed to be in a different category. So they had me in a crowd with like 2,000 people where you're never going to see yourself, you know? and then it's like 12 o'clock at night and there's like 30 of us. And he's like, oh, that's the guy I wanted, you know, because we had to do the concert scene. Then we had to do an RV scene. And there was a scene that got cut out where I was asking for, you know, Bradley Cooper's autograph and Lady Gaga's while they're going to the thing. And then afterwards, everyone's going home and stuff. And they're like, hey, can you do one more scene for us? I'm like, yeah, sure. What's up? So pretty much they take me and we're going into this big old elevator. And it's just me and this other guy. We're supposed to be like band roadies, like backstage and stuff, just bringing equipment up. So we're coming out in the movie, and this is a good 10 seconds or so. And Lady Gaga, this is her first time performance, coming from the car all nervous and stuff. And she almost hits me coming by. And then her agent's like, oh, I'm so sorry and stuff. And then I was like, okay. No, then she goes off, sings her award-winning song and stuff. But it was cool. It was just like literally me, the one other actor, Lady Gaga, Bradley Cooper, who was directing. He wasn't in that scene. And like 4 other people at like 3 a.m. in the morning, and that was it.
Interesting. So after that, that's when you started to get into Clown Motel Spirits Arise. And in there you played Sergeant Kelly. As an actor, how did that go for you?
It was good. I would say it was totally opposite of the shoot because we actually filmed that about 6 months prior in New York. So that scene, because the scene I have with her, it's my fiance's in Las Vegas doing her bachelorette party with the girls and stuff. And of course, you know, she's FaceTiming me beforehand. So it's just me pretty much on the screen FaceTiming with her. So we just imported that footage pretty easily. So acting wise, it wasn't bad at all. We had a couple extras. My mom was actually an extra in that too. So yeah, that was small.
Okay. Now, did you use any of your actors that you used in Clown Motel, the short film, in Spirits Arise, or did you go with totally different actors?
Yeah,
besides taking a step back.
Yeah. For the most part, all different actors. I was kind of trying to branch it off where it was like a short film followed by like a follow-up where it's like a continued one. But then Spirits Arise kind of just went on its own. But the one actor would be my EP and assistant director and video editor, Dave Bailey. If you're watching the short film, he plays the gas station attendant. And then in the sequel, not the sequel, Clown Motel Spirits Arise, he plays Golden Ager, the clown at the very end and stuff, and you know, who gets the last couple kills maybe.
Now, did you film at any other locations besides the actual Clown Motel while you were filming this particular film?
Yeah, so we had about so besides the scene I told you about with the military Skype in New York, we shot that separate. We shot for this Spirits Arise. We shot at the. Sorry, my notifications are distracting me. My shorts, the feature, we shot at the Clown Motel. So we shot there for about roughly, I think it was about 5 or 6 days. And then from there, we went to Boulder City. We took a night off. I let them do everything. I just went out with the 4 main actresses. I took a car, and we went to Las Vegas, and we were just doing like a guerrilla style shooting, you know, because you can't really have cameras in the casinos and stuff. So we got some cool footage there. And, you know, like, oh. And then I told the girls to warm up. If they want to buy a shot, they can. So they're by a shot. The guy's like, okay, that'll be $70. What the? But I guess, okay, I just write it off. So we shot in Las Vegas. That was fun. And then we shot in Boulder City by the dam.
Okay.
They have some cool gold mines over there, caves. And I actually just went location scouting a few weeks ago. And they actually do have, like, if you go down 3 miles, the road ends, but there's this beautiful lake also. So I'm trying to use it at the end somehow. But those are pretty much the locations we 99% used.
Cool. Now, I'm going to go backwards a little bit. Now, apparently you were on a TV series called Hollywood Scandals.
Oh, yeah. So that was on my production side, on my crew side. So, yeah, I was just helping out there. I could always turn it off on my phone. So production, yeah, so Hollywood Scandals, that was with, I don't know if you ever watched on the YouTube video, this guy went viral. It was like a gingerhead guy, and he's like, gingers don't have souls or something.
Uh-huh.
So it was that guy. Let me see, just give me 1 second. Sorry, I just got to mute all this.
Not a problem.
Okay, and and it's okay. Yeah, I don't need a Facebook, right? Skype is, yeah, if we're on StreamYard. Okay, cool. Okay. Sorry. So what was that again?
Oh, about Hollywood Scandals.
Hollywood Scandals. Yeah, so I was on there for about 2 to 3 weeks, just helping out with the camera crew, getting everything ready, just working with the actors, and yeah, that was pretty good. I'm thinking of Hollywood. Was it Hollywood Hillbillies or?
Let's see. Yeah, Hollywood Scandals with Mel Gibson, Charlie Sheen, and Robert Downey Jr.
I actually don't think I worked on that one.
Oh.
I know I worked on Hollywood Hillbilly. I don't know. Maybe someone got the wrong Joe Kelly.
Maybe they did.
Yeah.
How about Mansion Hunters?
Mansion Hunters. Okay, yep, I worked on that one. Yeah, so that was crew style too. That was very limited. That was I think there was only 4 or 5 of us on crew, like 2 actors. And, it's just like, hey, it's a reality show. Let's go look for a mansion,
Okay.
And you know how those play out. And it was just a 1 or 2 day shoot, and it was pretty good. I remember during the shoot, I think they actually ran out of batteries. And this mansion was it wasn't in like Beverly Hills. It was like in Canyon Country, like 10, 15 miles away from anything. So they ran out of batteries. So I had to drive to a Radio Shack. Yeah, they still had Radio Shack at the time. And pick up these batteries and just bring them back. But yeah, I mean, that's probably the highlight. That and eating some pineapples.
Okay. How about working on The First Wives Club or Bumblebee?
Okay. Yes, I could remember both of these. First Wives Clubs. Kevin Nappernick, I forgot his name. He was I think one of the lead actors. So he was actually so I was just a stand-in for him. So that was pretty cool. And they also doubled me as like a featured wedding guest too. But I had to go back, and it was actually so I wasn't familiar with anyone really on the cast or stuff except for the one girl who is the redhead in American Pie, the one who wants to go to band camp or something,
Okay.
So yeah, she was pretty cute. She was good.
And Bumblebee?
Bumblebee. So that was bringing my wrestling experience back and going back with Steven Cena, John Cena's brother. I was a stand-in for John Cena, and I didn't even know I knew John Cena through his brother, but that's not how I got the part and stuff. The director had like 30 of us send pictures, and I sent a picture with like me and my tank top all like bulked up and stuff. I was like 10 pounds heavier. It's like, yeah, I want that guy. So I went in, we did some makeup tests, and just a good week there standing in. And I was in the makeup truck too. This was the day before John Cena came. And it was, I didn't realize any of the people, but it was like the lead actress was sitting there talking to me, the lead guy, the young people, the Afro guy. So yeah, it was just like chill. Yeah, it was a good set. And that was probably, I think that and The Star is Born is like the 2 highest budget-wise sets I worked on. And on not Star is Born, Bumblebee, I actually got my own little trailer too. So that was pretty cool.
Nice. So after Clown Motel, you started working with James Bellissimo on Catch of the Day 2.
Yeah.
How was working on that set with him as Slick?
Cool. Oh, cool. They actually gave me a name. Yeah. Did you ever work with James?
Not yet, producer wise, but he has asked me.
Okay, yeah, he's a cool guy, really good. I met him at AFM, and I think we were, I don't know how it came about. I think we were doing something for another film set or something, and he's like to me, and I don't know if you know Sherry Davis, she was there too, and he's like, hey, you guys want to come down to do this little movie with me for a day or two, and we're supposed to be like, mob people, and they had some old WWE wrestler, I forgot his name, with the thing, and we're all at a church and stuff. Paying respects to the dead, and James comes with a tank top, all running down, all crazy and stuff. Like, what are you doing, trying to touch the dead body and stuff? And then him and his his friend, like, get guns and start shooting from behind the thing. And it was pretty much like, I would say about 50% guerrilla style, but it was cool. And then what I did for that is, I was like, yeah, because he asked me, I'm like, okay, James, I'll act for you for one day for free, just exchange it and work for one day for me for free. So he'll be in Clown Motel 2 as one of the people with Jimmy Starr selling kitchen knives.
Nice. So now, where was that filmed at?
I don't know. I just want to say somewhere in the city of LA at some Jewish church. That's all.
Okay. Moving on to now. This is uncharted territory. So
Okay.
the ladies' room short film. You were Mr. Gorgeous.
Hey, they named me Slick, Mr. Gorgeous. I don't name myself. Yeah. So no, that's all these have pretty cool stories. I don't think about it, but then okay. So the director. This is her first short film she's directing.
Okay.
The ladies' room. It was a nice 20-25 minute piece. And pretty much how she got me to be AD and act in it was she was the bartender at my local bar. And then after a few nights of getting me drunk, she was like, hey, Joe, can you help us out and, film for us and act? And I'm like, yeah, sure. So, I just helped them out for 3 days. And it was cool. I got a little thing, and it's like pretty much, I think 95% of that film was just shot in the ladies' room. And it's what happens in the ladies' room, at the clubs and stuff. You don't see what goes behind. Girls throwing up, getting upset, putting makeup on, doing sneaky stuff. And then towards the end, this like really prude girl, it's like all in the beginning. And at the end, I'm like carrying her up and just like making out with her in the ladies' room and just, just winging it.
Okay.
But, yeah, it's a pretty good short.
Cool. Now after, well, I don't know whether that happened before or after, but you started working on a project before you started campaigning for Clown Motel 2. You mentioned it before, Compatible. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so Compatible. This was the first project that we jumped on that that we helped the whole process through pre-production. The script was mostly done already, but helping them get funded to production, to bring it to our post-production team and working that out. And that was actually my first lead role, and that was good. So that's why I usually don't AD anything under 250. So I'll be like ghost director and just help out. But especially if I'm going to be like a lead actor, I didn't want to do anything. But that was good. We shot about 7 days in Colorado. We rented this like 6,000 square foot mansion. We had about 15, 20 people. I think we flew in about 8 people or 10 people from LA. So we pretty much did probably about 75% of the shooting in the house, making it look like 3 different locations.
Okay.
And it was pretty good. It was like, and then we also shot in the dungeon. So it's pretty much Compatible is like online dating. So I have cameras and stuff. We're going on a date, and then users could judge our date. So, oh, this is good, this is bad. So the first couple of dates, she goes on with Ari Lehman, Friday 13th, Jason Voorhees. So, that date doesn't go too good. And then she goes on a date with me, and everything is perfect, And then the second date, everything's perfect, too. And then the third date, well, let's just say things go to hell.
Now, you went into a little bit of the fan film I guess where you did Friday the 13th, Leia, a short film.
Yeah, no, we were just talking about that too. So this was when we were shooting Clown Motel Spirits of Rise. One of the producers, his daughter was in Silly Lily on the first one.
Okay.
He asked me, worked out some deal. It backfired, but I still honored it. Where we shot, because Ari Lehman, the first Jason Voorhees, was there. So we shot like a quick, 5-minute scene with, not 5, well, it took us probably about 3 hours, but it was a 5-minute movie with the lead actress, Eleanor Price, and the little girl, Silly Lily, where they see a clown motel, they go to it. Oh, where's everyone? They go upstairs, and it happens to be, Jason Voorhees' territory. So it's like a quick 3 to 5 minute short film. And actually, we never released it. So I might release it before the campaign.
Nice. So after that, you went into a production, and you're filming at this moment for Appetite for Sin. How is that project going?
Good. Matthew, sorry if I said his last name wrong. Vija. It's Viaga. So I met him at one of my film festivals, the Hollywood Dead Film Festival, where he's playing Tooth Fairy and Beauty. He played a few of them over the years. And then this was his first feature film. So he reached out to us, and, it was a nice vampire script. And, we said, we'll take it on board. So he had all pre-production pretty much planned out. We still have to get the props and stuff. We were actually supposed to be shooting some opening scenes in April, but, everything got postponed.
Yeah.
So our plan was to shoot a couple opening scenes in April, put that into a nice trailer, and then pretty much get everything ready for the Kickstarter campaign to launch, for the feature, which we want to shoot in August or September. Mm-hmm. So, but he does have a nice 1-minute teaser with Robert Hughes. I'm really bad with names, from House of a Thousand Corpse.
Oh, okay.
So he was in it, and so that was a nice little clip. And hopefully we'll get that done with production about August or September.
Definitely, man. Now, why don't we talk a little bit about the campaign that you're campaigning for Clown Motel 2. What direction are you going with, or can you not say?
Well, what do you mean, like, what direction's like up? No.
Well, is it going up, or is it going to get worse?
Well, hopefully. Hey, I'm gonna check my campaign after this. Like 30,000's taken back out. Like, what did I do? But no, it's going pretty good. I know we'll make our goal. It's just a matter of just the final days now. So it's after this, I usually like to sleep for like a good 2 solid days because it gets crazy. A lot of promoting, but Kickstarter is great right now. And everything we started halfway through, and that's when everything occurred with this Corona stuff. So that
kind of a lot of projects on hold.
Yeah, financials and stuff. And at that point, I had about, I think, 2 or 3 weeks left. And I was only about $20,000 raised. And I'm like, oh, man, I don't want to lose this, but I don't want to, like, continue. I don't know, because I don't know if people have, financials that could do this now. But then I'm like, if I postpone this, then I'm going to have to do another month and a half after this, and it's just going to slow everything down. So
might as well ride it out.
Yeah, figure it out. And if I had to take a hit and put some money in myself, so be it. But, yeah. It's going good, and what I did for everyone too is we had a $50 pledge with like a limited Blu-ray, DVD, and digital download combined with a special things credit. So we did that. I thought that was a pretty good deal. Then when this all hit, I'm like, hey, let me do something else. So then for only $25 is our special right now, where you get your name in the movie, a digital copy of the movie, digital script, PDF, and some cool artwork, all for $25. So that's not too bad.
Definitely. Now. Are there new actors, more or less, for either the clowns or the main actors?
Yeah, we could say it all. Pretty much main actors that return as my lead actress, Eleanor Price, of course, Angela Joseph, who played Jane Doe. Clowns set up Ari Lehman, Jason Voorhees, as I said, Tony Moran, first Halloween, Michael Myers coming back. Martin Kleba, I have to talk details with him. He's the pirate of the Pirates of the Caribbean, almost,
Okay.
But so he was in like 4 or 5 movies. But so I'm gonna have them come back. And then the new ones I have is Eileen Dietz, I'm working with for the first time this year. She worked with me on Compatible from The Exorcist. And then and then who else? Eileen, and then Ezra Buzzington. He was Google Eyes in 2006, Hills Have Eyes. So
Okay.
he's the Freaks in Hills Have Eyes. So we have some cool horror names, along with trying to branch out a little too. Lauren Landon, who did Airplanes 2 and Maniac Cops.
Nice.
And Ron Russell, Jimmy Starr. Then we have in the indie field, you probably know some of them too, like Mindy Robinson,
Yep.
Alyssa Dowling, Sherry Davis.
Okay.
Who else? Sean Phillips.
Yep.
Paul Gunn, Thomas Churchill. There's just so many names, Dave
Yeah,
Bell.
I believe you had Sean C. Phillips in Bloody Island.
He was actually in the Bloody Island. He did the same thing with Mindy Robinson, where we didn't have the big budget, but we're just like, here's a little something. Can you just film from your home and stuff? And we kind of tied them in. So Sean, his dad was in the movie Bloody Island. His dad was one of the community service officers with Bob Butterfield, who the serial killer is coming after.
Oh, okay.
So he was the one at the check-in, Sean Phillips' dad. And the serial killer actually killed his dad. So then, Sean Phillips is all pissed and like, that should have been him.
Nice. So while you're filming Clown Motel 2, there are a couple other things that you have actor-wise that are in pre-production. One is Misfits 2, where you played a character called Kevin.
Yeah.
How was that for you?
That one, actually, I think that one went on the drawing blocks. I think that one they pushed back, and I don't know if the director is doing films at the moment. So that was the one Angela signed us on to. That was I think in the mid of last year and stuff, and just we're just getting things finished for Clown Motel and just all that. So that one, that's not going anywhere right now. But they do have the first one, which I believe is on Amazon Prime.
Definitely. And Metal Heavy, where you play Mr. Shaw, record label owner. How was that project for you?
You said a record owner label?
Yeah.
At first, I thought you said a hooker owner. Okay. No, it was good. So that's with Chase Watson. So I've been talking to him throughout the year and stuff, and just going over that too. And he's in one of our blocks. So we got Appetite for Sin, something with Bleeding Darker, Substitution for that film, and then I have Metal Heavy after. So ideally, hopefully, we can film, November, December time, if everything goes to plan. But yeah, that's a cool little one, a different genre, kind of just a metal band and stuff, trying to make it. And one of the band members, step out. Don't want to say too much, but then, once the band member leaves, then he'll regret it later on and stuff after, you see everything. And I just play, one of the record label owners. And it's funny because Ron Russell plays one of the guys with me, and he comes in and they think he's the record owner or label because he's like, 75 all thing. And then he's like, nope. And then it comes me, like this young kid, like, what do you know?
And I just realized that, and I think I remembered seeing your name on it before, but you're actually on a project that I helped produce.
Oh, yeah.
Dark Zone 13.
Was that? Let me see. Which one was it?
It was Dark Zone 13 with Joe Sherlock. It was an anthology that he did not too long ago.
Okay, was it one of the? I'm going to back one of the campaigns. Was it one of those, Adam? Yeah, I'll have to look at it once I see it and names if it's new ones. Yeah.
But I just thought that was kind of cool that we had somewhat of a connection.
Yeah, that is cool. Yeah, I'll work later on in one way or another.
But in any case, is there anything else that you'd like to tell the audience about your campaign that's going on, or anything that's eventful that's going on in the future at this moment?
Yeah, no, on campaign we have 6 long days left, 85% there. We have a couple of scream shows coming up Thursday, Saturday, and Monday with some of the clowns, some of the horror icons, and some of the band members. So that'll be pretty cool to promote the movie. I'll do a live stream of the movie sometime this week on the Motel page. And then the Kickstarter, yeah, I mean, like, even if you can't do the 25 right now, even just the dollar perk, you get to be part of it. You could say you could be part of it, and it just helps. The back account just helps us out too. So even if you can't do a dollar, you could always share it. We do appreciate the support. It's a hard process. It's a long process, but we'll get it done.
Definitely, man. Definitely, man. Well, I appreciate your time coming here and talking with me about some of the projects that you've been involved in, and I just love getting to know the directors behind some of the films that go out there, especially ones that I put money towards, and I've been following some of your career in some regards. So, thank you. I'm hoping to put a link to the Kickstarter in with the link to our interview after we get done here, so that I'll share it around to different groups, so that maybe it'll give a boost.
We'll do that too. I must say though, David. I've done a few interviews over the last couple of weeks, but I really enjoyed your interviews. It was like in detail with stuff I wasn't thinking of, just of the past work and stuff. Yeah, it's like, what have you done before? Community service, Bloody Island, but you just don't go into details like we did. So that was pretty cool.
A lot of magazine article people who go out and try to get to know you guys don't get to really know you. So, and I like going into the details and asking you questions that you may not have known for quite some time, but
like my dorm history.
Those who shall be remain nameless, right?
Yeah.
But in any case, thank you for coming on, and hopefully your campaign is successful, and you'll be able to, once this coronavirus gets done, get going.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, thank you very much, David. We'll be sure to share it also.
Well, I think that's all the time we had for today, folks. So definitely take a listen to this interview. Let me know down in the comments if you've seen any of the films that you have heard about. And if you have any questions for Joseph, just maybe I can hand them off to you to him, and he could answer them. So, in any case, thank you for listening. Have a great day, evening, or morning, folks. Joseph, why don't you say good night or good evening to those out there?
Yeah, good night and good evening and good morning in Tokyo.
All righty.